Al, it's time to return.
Of the Jedi.
No.
Of the Priestess.
Yes.
Yay, nailed it.
Very hard to figure out, I know.
Mm-hmm.
But we got there. And we did it.
Yay.
Welcome to this week's episode of Jared and Al Watch Inuyasha. It is episode number 15. I'm Jared, joined as always by Doc Al and Ladium.
Hello.
We are discussing season 1, episode number 15. It's called Return of the Tragic Priestess Kikyo.
I don't know what's going to happen this episode.
Who could possibly know what's going to happen in this episode?
So I've been telling you for a little bit before we watch these episodes, I'm like, oh man, we're about to get some plot stuff. Plot.
Blah, 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 blah.
Here's the plot.
Yay, I like plot.
Yay,
Glad
plot.
it's taken 15 episodes to get here.
You got some plot before this, but like this is where a big part of the plot comes in, and then we get some more of it next episode.
Plot.
Plot.
So yeah, last episode, Ursway stole Kagome. And it's like, I'm going to take your soul. And then Kagome's like,
that sucks.
I don't like the sound of that. And now we get to see what happens. She put Kagome in a tub.
It's green and icky and
It
apparently smells disgusting.
Good voice break.
That's what she does. She has like a weird like infliction on it.
As you do.
Mm-hmm.
The Kikyo body comes out in a bunch of priestess clothes.
She's dressed now, yay!
She didn't want to have her one cheek butt out.
And her Immerhammers.
And Demon's like, I'm going to suck out your soul with this potion and everything and put it in Kikyo's body. Body. Inuyasha and the others are like on the down below where the bridge was and everything. They got to climb back up because Shippo's like, that demon stole Kagome.
Oh man, and Shippo does like the MVP move here where he turns his leaf, his tiny little leaf, into a big leaf.
Big leaf, man.
And he saves Kaede, and then they're like, we have to go fix this. Oh my goodness. And
we must go.
Inuyasha like puts Kaede on his back and then starts hopping up real quick, and she's like, ow. And Shippo is like, you can't go so fast, you're going to hurt her. And Kaede is like, oh no, keep going, go fast, we have to figure this out, oh my god. And Inuyasha's like, oh my god, please somebody decide which speed I'm supposed to go at.
Yep. Meanwhile, Kagome is getting stuck in the water and getting her soul sucked out, but the power of the Shikon jewel is making it so her soul will not get sucked out. Mm-hmm. So it's just like this big orb, and just like bing, 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 bing.
Pew pew.
So Ursway's getting mad, upset. Inuyasha and the crew finally get up there and see what's happening. They're like, oh no! And then Inuyasha sees Kikyo, and the soul of Kikyo is like, don't say my name. And then he's like, Kikyo. She's like, oh god, you idiot. You moron. You complete fool. The soul breaks out of Kagome and then goes into the Kikyo body.
She gets dead eyes. Kikyo just goes up to Ursway and is like, hey, what up? I'm going to put my hands on you.
Yeah, because Ursway's like, oh, now you will listen to me and everything. And she's like, nah. Burn
Makes
you
her
to
do
a
a
crisp.
sweet dance. I want to like put some EDM to her getting burned.
God. Kikyo's like, hey, Inuyasha, why am I alive? Why are you alive? Why is anyone alive? Why are we alive?
Start asking some existential questions.
What is the meaning of life? And Inuyasha's like, well, I was stuck to that tree for 50 years, but now I'm here. I'm ready to fight you again. And then, like, Kikyo's right shoulder just starts bleeding profusely.
Yep.
For whatever reason.
Yep.
And then she's like, why did you betray me? And Inuyasha's like, huh?
You betrayed me.
Huh? And Kaede's like, well, you heard her, right? And Inuyasha's like, huh? What? What do you mean? I didn't do that. That wasn't me.
Nope.
You fool. And then Kikyo's like, you told me you wanted to become human, and then I brought the Shikon jewel, and then you betrayed me and shanked my shoulder and everything, and then took the jewel. And Yasha's like, huh?
Huh?
That, no. Huh? What do you mean? And then she starts shooting arrows at him. And Kaede's like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this. It seems kind of messed up and everything. And Kikyo's like, who are you? She's like, I'm your younger sister, but it's 50 years later, so I look old. And then she's like, well, why are you helping this idiot? You're betraying me and everything. This is messed up. You should be on the side of your flesh and blood. That's all. And Kaede just gets thrown to the ground. He gets her arrow stolen, and then Inuyasha gets peltered with arrows, except one. He tries to knock one back with Tetsaiga, but Tetsaiga's like, nope, can't do this. Later.
I also think it's funny. She's like, your own flesh and blood. I'm like, you're mud.
Yeah,
You're
not really flesh and
or
blood.
Also, she at one point like grabs Inuyasha and like burns through his robe.
Mm-hmm.
Just pretty messed up. So now he's like, oh man, now I got like gun windows in my robe. Can't
Free
flex.
tickets to the gun show now. So see, the arrow that she shot that he tried to stave off with Tetsaiga gets basically knocks Tetsaiga out of the way, and it's like closing in on piercing him again. And like he's like, no, and somehow that causes Kagome to wake up and suck the soul back into her.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, no, I must get my revenge.
I must run away now. I need to hold on to this little bit of soul I have.
And Kaido's like, oh yes, she runs away because her hatred still fuels her and everything. And Yoshi's like, well, I guess I should run after her.
Also, like, Ursu's still alive somehow.
She's like, hey, oh yeah, it was Ursula who tells him that.
Yeah.
Like, yes, the vengeance is fueling her body to move and everything. Ha ha ha! I'm burned to a crisp later. I'm going to fly away. I'm going to get blown away in the dust.
Woo!
And then he just runs after her.
Kikyo's like, I'm so mad. Why is he back? This is terrible. Oh god, I can't walk. Bleh, I'm gonna fall off a cliff.
Oh no, I've been saved. Not by Inuyasha. No.
Gross.
Bleh.
He's like, you gotta go back to Kagome now. You gotta go back into the body that you're supposed to be in. She's like, do you want me to go away? Do you want me to die?
Well, too bad I'm not gonna do that until I get my revenge.
Also, yeah, I want you dead, so, like, F you. Also, burn.
And then she just falls into the abyss.
Yep.
And then we get the Inuyasha side of his story.
Yep.
Where, like, he gets shot up by Kikyo once, and then she doesn't kill him. And she keeps, like, not killing him. And he's like, hey, why aren't you killing me and everything? What the heck? And then eventually he just starts, like, just creeping on her and everything. And then they have this talk of like, yeah, we're both outsiders and everything. That's why I couldn't kill you and all this sort of stuff. And then he can't get her out of his mind. And then they have the talk about like, hey, you know, if you take the jewel, you could become full demon, but also you become full human. What if we tried that? And he's like, I mean, I guess we could try that. Yeah.
And if he were to become full human, it would purify the jewel, and the jewel wouldn't exist anymore, and Kikyo would be free from having to protect it, so they could just live a normal life.
Correct. So, like, the day that they're supposed to meet up, he goes to, like, their meeting spot, and then she just starts shooting arrows, and I'm like, I'm gonna kill you! And he's like,
nah.
Well, that's messed up. She betrayed me and everything. So that's why he goes to steal the jewel, and then gets shot and pierced to the tree.
Yep.
So we have conflicting stories of what exactly happened.
Yep.
And also various versions of the other person who allegedly betrayed them, but wasn't the actual person.
What? No, of course it was the person. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
They definitely just remembered it wrong. Both of them simultaneously.
It was Kaede. She got them both.
Ah, got him.
Bamboozled them. But yeah, that's basically how that episode ends, right?
I think so. Yeah, Inuyasha's sad.
Yeah, he's just a sad boy.
Which, I mean, like, that's valid. This was a woman that he was in love with, that he had decided he was going to become a human for, and then she betrayed him. But then
Allegedly.
maybe she didn't betray him, but he betrayed her, and he didn't do that. That's not true. What is going on? Also, she's alive again. Oh God, this is so messed up. Also, I still have some baby feelings for this other version of her, so I'm real confused right now.
And then I guess potentially part of the original Kikyo's soul is still in that body?
In Kikyo's body?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like
She
it's
still has
just
like one of the orbs there.
it's a lot. It's a lot.
That's a lot. He's dealing with a lot. He needs a nap.
He does. Shippo's gonna be like, "Hey, dog, I can help you with that.
I
I
am the
know how
king
to
of
nap.
naps.
I know how to nap through situations." So yeah, that's it for that episode. Let's talk about some differences
hmm
from the manga. The anime includes an extra, albeit not short,
Shirt.
short fight between Inuyasha and Ursue's dolls. This leads to Kaede to deduce the reason for Ursue stealing Kikyo's bones and ashes, because she finds the bones in them. And they're like, human bones, the souls are escaping them, and all that sort of stuff.
This is real messed up.
Yep. In the manga, while Kagome is unable to move in the herbal water, she talks back to Ursue and unwittingly creates a barrier to keep her soul from breaking free. She even remains able to talk up to when Inuyasha arrives to save her.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Before going to save Kagome, Inuyasha relays his history with Kikyo to Kaede, who is able to deduce that Inuyasha actually loved Kikyo. The anime includes the story, but in a later scene. And also, he doesn't tell it to Kaede.
Yeah.
He just thinks it.
Yep.
Inuyasha and Kikyo's reunion plays out quite a bit differently between the two mediums. In the manga, the two share a brief moment of tenderness before Kikyo draws close to Inuyasha to attack. In the anime, however, the two are immediately hostile towards one another, and the wound inflicted on her by Inuyasha reappears. Likewise, in the manga, Inuyasha deflected the arrow and destroyed Kikyo's bow, but discarded Tetsaiga to talk her out of her hatred, having been unable to kill her as he still loved her. It's a lot.
Yeah. Which that was one thing. Coyote's like, you have to kill my sister. You have to get rid
Yeah.
of her. Like, this is real messed up. This is bad. Please kill her. And he's like,
I don't know about that.
But yeah, it was a lot. There's a lot happening.
In the manga, Inuyasha was able to deduce a third party disguised as Kikyo and himself. Inuyasha was able to deduce a third party disguised as Kikyo and himself to make them think they betrayed each other. In the anime, he was pondering how this happened the way they did, not realizing a third party was involved. So he just got dumber in the anime.
I'm glad that they didn't spoil that in the wiki. I was a little concerned about that.
Oh, who the third party is?
Mm-hmm.
It's me.
Jared, why?
And then finally, Kikyo being revealed to have survived the fall and staggering through a battlefield is not included in the anime.
Surprised she survived the fall.
Wow, I'm shocked. I could have never guessed.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be a plot point at all that like his former lover is alive question mark. Yeah, definitely not going to be relevant throughout the entire series.
Oh, no, definitely not.
Hmm.
Well, that's going to wrap up this episode.
Next week we get to talk about Moroku.
Next week, we will discuss Season 1, Episode 16, called The Mystical Hand of the Amorous Monk, Miroku.
Which
Go ahead.
What? I was going to say I have gotten your interest with Moroku by telling you his motivations and his solutions to every problem.
Also, Kagome in the preview for the episode calls him lecherous.
That is true.
Which is pretty good.
I mean, he is kind of lecherous. As I told you, Moroku has two solutions to every problem. One is to bang it, and the other is to use his right hand. It just depends on what is the actual situation at hand. Get it at hand. So those are his two things that he does. And Moroku is I'm interested to see, since I have not seen this in a while, how it aged.
Mm-hmm.
But I genuinely do like Moroku. He gets better as the show goes along. I remember that. He's kind of a creep at first.
I mean, they kind of lay that out very quickly.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely he's a creep. Lecherous.
Lecherous. Regardless, yeah, that's gonna wrap up this episode.
Mhm.
So if you would like more from us, go to seasonlanguagecheckup.com or sac.cool where you can find past episodes, this podcast, and other podcasts like Season Language Checkup and Season Language Checkup OVA. You can also find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you would like more from Anladium, go to anladium.com. She's got columns and reviews.
Yep.
You can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/animecheckup. And you can buy our books, One Shining Moment, A Critical Analysis of Love, Life, Sunshine, and Hot Tubs and Pac-Man on Amazon.com. So join us next time as we figure out what's up with this creepy dude.
Lecherous.